Welcome, psychology students of mine from Eastern Florida State College. I am doing this video for you so that you can know how to access Eastern Florida's online library, the databases, and be able to get your sources, your peer-reviewed sources for your research. So, this might be a refresher for some of you. Some of you may not have been in class when I was already talking about this, but I did say I would do another video demonstrating how it is you find your sources. So you want to make sure that you're on the Eastern Florida State College homepage and you'd log into My EFSC. Once you log in, you should see this nice little link here that says Library Resources. That is where it is you want to go. Once you click on that link, it should bring up this very fancy page right here. Fancy, well, not very fancy. It's really plain. But what you don't want to do is you do not want to enter keywords right here. You'd want to click on Databases by Subject. Now, you can use this exact same tutorial for your other classes. As you can see, when you look at these categories here, it really narrows it down to whatever it is you're taking. So arts, humanities, biography, business, careers, computer tech, you guys get the point. So for my class, you're going to click on behavioral psychology and social sciences. And you want to pay close attention to these databases. There's JSTOR, Psych Articles, Social Sciences Full Text, and Springer eJournal Collection. Those are the four main ones on this page that you'll be using for psychology type journals. So, for an example, let's go to Social Sciences Full Text. Now, you guys should have a packet by now that tells you about your developmental essay that's due in a couple weeks. It says in 1,000 words or more, identify one developmental stage from Sigmund Freud, Erik Erikson, or Jean Piaget, and analyze it in relation to your personal life experience using APA format. Alright, so there's a couple things. You're going to have to display an overall understanding of the chosen developmental theory. You're going to have to identify the theoretical stage and that most impacted your development. Evaluate life experiences to explain the significance of the identified stage. And it says here, be sure to use integrated supporting statements from research to back up your comments. This is what you're doing right here. When you're on EBSCOhost or any one of these databases, you are looking for supporting statements from the research that you find on here to back up what it is you're saying. That is the importance of peer-reviewed research. And lastly, you're going to emphasize in your conclusion how the stage impacted your personality development. Was the theory valid? Okay, so you must cite at least 3 credible sources using APA format. So this is what it is this tutorial is all about today. Where it is you're going to find these peer-reviewed sources and how it is you're going to format this in your reference list. So let's say you were to type in, let's say you chose Erik Erikson. Well, if you typed in Erik Erikson, you're not going to get anything for the simple fact that Erik Erikson, I mean, you know, the guy is like long dead and gone. As you can see, you're getting 18 topics on him. The recovery process utilizing Erikson stages, adolescent identity exploration. Well, this might be a little bit helpful. Let's see here. Of course, this was written in 1995. You can't use that. 1982. You see what I mean? You're not going to get anything that you can actually use if you just type his name in there. This one here is in 2011. Intimacy in Young Adults, Narratives of Romance and Friendship Predicts Ericksonian Generativity. I mean, what does all that even mean? Anyways, my point is you want to make sure you narrow it down, because if you, or try to keep it even more general. Start general at first and then maybe narrow it down if you're not getting that many results. So let's try one of Erikson's stages, which is adolescence. And let's see what comes up. If you typed in adolescence, which is a very broad term, you get over 7,000 results. Well, there's a way to narrow this down. If you go here, you'll see that it's pulling up everything from the 1980s. You want to change that. Now, the rule is really to go back about 5 years. Now, for my class, since it is an undergraduate course, I allow 10 years, okay, because students often get a whole lot of anxiety if they can't find what they're looking for narrowed into the last 5 years. So let's narrow it down to 10 years. And you want to also make sure that you select that box that says scholarly peer-reviewed journals. And that's going to narrow it down even further, because now you know any of these links that you click on is going to be a peer-reviewed journal. And let's say that you're scrolling through, you're reading through your topics. This is where it is you'd really start. Anything that catches your eye that seems relative to what it is you're going to be writing about. If you're writing about violence in adolescence, well, you might want to check that out. Let's see, it really just depends on what your paper is about. Then maybe you can look over here and read the snippet of the abstract to see if this is something that you're interested in. So let's say, for example, I like this. I can talk about bullying or mental depression. You see, all of these are keywords that you'll find throughout this article. So this might interest you, so you want to know more. In that case, you would then click on this link right here. When you click on that link, it's going to pull up the rest of the abstract, which you can finish read. And then you can also pull up the PDF file. Of course, you want to make sure that you have Adobe on your computer for you to pull this file up. Now, what I like to do from here is I like to go ahead and click on Download PDF in the top left-hand corner. And once I download it from here, I can save to my computer. And once I save it, I can highlight stuff. I can put it on a flash drive, whatever it is. But most importantly, when you're here, you can press Control F, F as in Frank, and you can type in your keyword in that little window that pops up on the top right-hand side of your screen. And this way, you can look for your keyword everywhere that it's mentioned. And this will help you to really be able to find that needle in this haystack of 20 some odd pages that you don't have time to read. So once you found what it is you're looking for, okay, you're going to read that sentence that it shows up in. And you're going to ask yourself, is this something that I can use in my essay? Okay, so these two studies illustrate the potential of using the 4H study to illuminate the, okay, I don't know what the 4H study is. I'm going to go on. I can't use that. All right, so next, I'm going to see where else it pops up. Let's see here. Classification of sexual behavior as a problem will be addressed in the discussion section. Sexual behavior during adolescence can be normative and healthy and does not always constitute a problem. So, you might like this. Now, when it says you're talking about adolescence from your own perspective and your own experience, you might want to cite this line here. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to just copy paste and drop this into your paper, because what it's going to sound like is you're going to have a certain tone, and all of a sudden your tone's going to change and you're going to sound like, again, Dr. Ramachandran, the neuroscientist. So you don't want to do that. You want to change this into something that's very meaningful to you in your own words. So maybe you will look at this statement here and you'll say, sexual behavior during adolescence is not considered a problem for some researchers. As a matter of fact, according to, and this is where it is you would cite whoever wrote this, according to Arbiet, Johnson, or in this case, since there's more than 6, Arbiet et al., which means and others, then you'd go into saying sexual behavior is considered normative and healthy. So you see how it is, I've sort of changed things around into my own words, but I made sure to mention the authors of who it is said this. Now, and this is, in this case, they actually cited this from someone, but the example I'm giving you is if it was in there, this is their words, that's how it is you'd cite it. Now, when you cite it, this is what you would do. You'd put their last names in there along with the date of publication. Now, don't want to go too far ahead. In another video, I'll discuss APA style and format, so don't worry about all this stuff right now. For now, this video really is just to show you how to access your journal articles and how it is to really browse through it without thinking you have to read 20 some odd pages to figure out what you want to pull from it. That's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of headache. Alright, so I hope that this was really informative. Again, look out for my APA writing video on how to write an APA style 6th edition. I've done a number of those videos, but I wanted to make sure that I personalize it towards your developmental essay so that it can really help you in writing your paper.